Hello, my name is Eagle Eye 621 and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a complete set of perfect armor. Some call it God armor, some call it OP armor. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It is armor that has every type of protection on it. That is the normal protection as well as the fire protection, blast protection, and projectile protection. It's important to note that this is Java 1.14. Specifically, we are in Java 14.2. In the 0.3, they are removing your ability to combine different protections. I'm going to show you down to which books to combine, how to make this yourself in your survival world. Do note that you are going to need a lot of levels, and you're going to need a lot of books, and the right kind of books. So if you want this, you need to do this before you upgrade. Then I'm going to show you why you want this, and also why you don't need all of it, even though it's really nice to have. There's a couple of things to take note of, and one is how anvils work. So you can combine different enchantments in an anvil, but there is a limit to the number of times you can enchant any one thing in an anvil. It's also important to note that when you combine two different things in an anvil, it takes the item that you've combined the most and adds to that. So as a practical matter, you can add 6 things before they become too expensive for you to combine. And with something like a helmet, if you want everything that you can get on it, that's 9 things. That's more than 6. So there's a trick to doing this, and the trick is creating a pyramid. So first we'll go over what you want. Some of these are more straightforward than others. For your helmet, you're going to want Respiration and Aqua Affinity. You're going to want Unbreaking and Mending. And if you can, you're going to want all the protections. Some people like Thorns, some people don't. Much more straightforward with the diamond chest plate, because there's nothing special like you have with the helmet or the boots, just your protections, as well as mending and unbreaking. Thorns. The leggings are the same, nothing special, just the 4 protections, mending, unbreaking, and thorns. And the boots, you have to make a decision, because you can have Frostwalker on them, or you can have Depth Strider. You can't have both. Either way, you're going to want to add Feather Falling to that, along with the 4 protections, mending, unbreaking, and again, Thorns is optional. So let's give ourselves some levels. And let's start with the chest plates and the leggings. And the way that you can combine all these different types of protection is in a pyramid type form, so that each item is enchanted as few times as possible. And while what I'm going to show you works, there are other ways to do it. Basically what you want is you take all the different types of protections you want, and you test out how much each costs. And what you're looking for in your first round is for things to be under 4. So mending is 2 with projectile protection. Unbreaking and thorns in that configuration cost 12. Cost 3 in this configuration. So that's going to be good. Blast protection and fire protection in this configuration are 4, which is good. And then you can always flip them to see. That's another 4. It's also good. And 6. Not good, so you would go and you would keep doing that until you found cheaper combinations. So for the chest plates and leggings, this is the combination. I'll go through these rather slow. Understand that you want to start the slots the same way that the pictures are shown. So you're going to combine protection on the left with fire protection on the right. Same with blast protection and mending. Same with Thorns 3, and Projectile Protection, and then whichever armor piece you're doing with Unbreaking 3. You're then going to combine the Blast Protection and Mending, this combo, with the Protection and Fire Protection, which is this combo, which will get you here. And you're going to combine the Thorns and Projectile Protection with, again, whichever one is here, and then the two there. So let's just do this. And I'm going to be sure to keep this order so it's nice and fast. And I'm just shift clicking in. And then we combine these two. And we combine these two. And then this is the third combination for either of these. It's actually third for both, so it works. And at this point, you can add your name. Same goes for the leggings. It's the same combination. Now, the helmet is a little more complicated because there are a lot more different combinations. So we're going to combine the helmet with Unbreaking, Thorns 3 with Aqua Affinity, Projectile Protection with Mending, Blast Protection with Fire Protection, Respiration with Protection 4. Then we're going to combine these two with these two. We're going to actually skip one from here, and then these two with these two. Then these two combine. These two combine. We take the helmet, and then we end up with our perfect helmet. So let's just do that as well. And again, just going to keep the same order to make this go a little fast. And we're going to need some more levels. You know, we started at 100 with the chest plate. We went all the way down to 34. Start back up at 100. Again, we're going to start with the helmet. As I said, the helmet is going to skip one. Now we're going to add the helmet. And last, we are going to add the last one. Again, at this point, you can rename it. 33 levels means we can still do it. We've combined things the least number of times possible. And we have OP or a God helmet. As you can see, we're now at 8 levels. That took 92 levels. That's for one piece of armor. Now, I don't need to do this again, but let me just show you where we are. Again, the boots on the left, then Unbreaking, Thorns 3, then Feather Falling. Projectile Protection combines with Mending, Blast Protection to Fire Protection, Frostwalker 2 to Protection 4. And then these two and these two combine, as well as these two to these two. They combine. The boots skip one, and then they combine with this. And then finally, you combine the last two, and at that point you also name it again. For Depth Strider 3, we just replaced it instead of where the Frostwalker 2 was. Now, if you don't like thorns, then you can take thorns out of that equation. Things do get easier and cheaper if you use the enchanting table to enchant your diamond gear, and then again just fiddle around with it until you find the cheapest combinations that you can have. Do also note can also do this to the turtle shell helmet. Now, it is important to note that the books that we're using here have to be essentially fresh books. That is, these books can have been combined from other books. You can't use 2 feather falling 3s that you combined into a feather falling 4 in order to make this work, because then you already have extra combinations in there which will mess up this. Now, a quick way to find out what your books have, if you don't remember, is that NBT tag that you can see on the bottom of that black box. To get that, you press F3 and H. It's Advanced Tooltips, and you're looking for it to say an NBT of 1. Now, once you start combining them, you'll notice that there's more than 1. So, why do we want this armor? Well, the previous best armor that you could get just allowed you to have 1 protection on it, and typically you would just add protection 4 to all of them. Let's see how we do against the creeper. Three and a half hearts. Let's get a little bit closer. A lot more hearts. 5 or 6. Now, most people don't wear the chest plate because they're wearing wings. And that's when the creeper gets you, when you're not paying attention. And you're dead. So, let's clean all that up. And let's run back and get some of this seriously overpowered armor. Now, this is the best armor that you can get without using commands or cheating. And another creeper. 3.5 hearts. And that was pressing up against them as close as you can get. It's another 3.5 hearts. Now again, you're not going to be wearing chest plate. You're going to be wearing the elytra. And 5 hearts. As close as it can get. Now, I will tell you parenthetically that you don't actually need all the protections. There's a lot of math involved, but basically protection counts as protection counts just as the number it is. So protection 4 counts as 4 points of protection, and the specialized protections, fire protection, counts as double. So a fire protection 4 is actually 8 points of protection from fire. So these pair of boots alone gives you 4 normal protection points, and then 8 additional protection points just for fire. You cap out at 20. So if you have protection 4 on all of your gear, that's 16. And then if you have one of each of the protections, specialized protections, you break 20. In fact, you don't actually need the chest plate to hit 20 for all of them, because protection 4 times 3 is 12, plus a projectile protection brings you to 20, a blast protection brings you to 20, and a fire protection brings you to 20. So you actually have the same... put that on. You actually have the same resistance and the same protection with this armor. 3.5 hearts. I think it's still fun to have a slightly more ridiculous armor, even if you don't need it. So, how ridiculous? Let's go punch an end crystal. Generally not a good thing to do in survival. Not a problem when you're wearing this armor. And let's heal up a little bit for one final test waiting for us in that box. Charge Creeper right to the face. Totally survivable with this armor. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll be happy to help. Just remember you need to do this before you upgrade your world to 14.3. At that point it'll be too late. Thanks for stopping by.